Hi everybody, my name is Andrew and this is another super exciting edition of Kite Army Labs. Today I want to talk to you about the Zmodo 1080p cloud-enabled outdoor camera. Let's go and check it out. Dang, that was close. Before I talk to you about the Zmodo camera, I want to give you a little history of what got me to this place. About 6 months ago, I tried out the Nest outdoor camera and I was overall really impressed with the solution. But the problem that I had with the Nest camera was the cost for the cloud service. And it was either a monthly fee or an annual reoccurring cost forever. So it started to get really expensive when I looked at securing my home with cameras. So I decided to set off on this journey and see if there were any other alternatives to the Nest solution. Some of the solutions I looked at were DVR-based solutions, some of them were cloud solutions. And I kind of had mixed results through that process. I'll have a link to a few of those videos below. Make sure you check them out after you watch all of this. Anyway, so I'm at the point where I'm kind of at the end. I feel like I drove the Ferrari the first day I ever drove a car, and everything I've driven since then has kind of felt not like a Ferrari. So anyway, I checked out this solution. It's called Zmodo. This was recommended to me by someone I know, and they said the cloud service is pretty good. It turns out the cloud service is new for Zmodo, so maybe, they've had time to iron out the bugs. So before I jump into the review of the Zmodo camera, I want to share with you one very important point. Lots of cameras now are moving towards cloud to store their video footage. The thing is, not all cloud storage is alike. Let's start with the Zmodo. The Zmodo does something called continuous cloud recording. That means anything that camera sees is recorded. Now, the other type of storage is called motion detection storage. Cameras like the Blink XT, the Arlo use that type of storage. And what that means is when they detect movement or motion, they send that video to the cloud. The problem is, and in my experience, was those cameras didn't always detect the motion, so the footage never gets to the cloud. So I was looking for camera solutions that have that 24/7 continuous recording, and that's what drew me to the Zmodo. All right, let's take a quick up-close look at the Zmodo 1080p outdoor camera. This is the guy right here. You can see the body of the camera is mostly constructed of metal. It feels real rugged and I think will do fine in the outdoors. It does have an external Wi-Fi antenna. I did place the camera about 100 feet from my router without issue, so I think that antenna would give you good range. The base on this camera gives you lots of adjustability and it's really well constructed, solid, so when you install it, it won't wobble around in the wind and will give you a nice, stable picture. This camera is powered by a mini USB right here. It comes with a 10-foot cable, but you can extend that by buying an additional USB cable. So up front here, you've got your lens. This lens will give you a 96-degree view. Okay, so a little greater than 90. Some of the cameras in this range will go all the way up to like 110. The ring right here of LEDs, this is for night vision. One of the cons on this particular camera is these glow red at night and they kind of draw your eye to the camera. So if aesthetics is a problem, that could be an issue for some people. Now the night vision on this camera is rated to 65 feet. In my testing, I'd say that I saw it work for about 40 feet where I could kind of make out a face and figure out who the person was. Overall, that's the camera up close. Let's go and look at the app. All right, let me show you how the app works. This app is installed on an Apple iOS device. They do have an app for Android. Let's start by clicking the app and we'll open right to your home page. Up top, you'll see a view from the camera. That's not necessarily a live view. It seems to update every few minutes. Right below that, you have the away, home, sleep, and wake up modes. Basically, if you change those, it changes the behavior of the camera. I leave mine on away all the time because I want it to detect motion and record for motion. You can adjust those settings in the app. Now, the two places you're mostly gonna work are the video button right there, and that will show you a live feed from the camera. That is a live feed. You can see it's in HD. You can also expand that view and flip it around. And I'm gonna go back home. The alerts is great. It shows you when you get motion detection. So if I select one of those, it will take me to the place in the timeline that the activity took place. Look at the timeline down there. What I want to show you is the blue timeline is recording, which this camera records all the time, and the orange tick marks are when it detects motion. Now the other thing that you might want to look at, here's how you add your device down here, or when your device is added, this is what it looks like, and here's some of the settings for that device. You can change the motion detection area. I had a little trouble with this at first. You just got to grab one of the handles in the corner and you can say, hey, I want to only get motion detection on this part of the screen, and then hit save. You can also set up the night vision for the sensitivity. Some of the cloud service, you can order it on there, and some of the mode settings, so video performance is also there. So this is at 20 frames per second. The other place you might go to is the Me button right here. This is the gallery right there, and you can see in here you can actually take screenshots or video and save them to your gallery and then look at them here. It can also save those files to your photos folder on your device. Another nice feature of the Zmodo cloud service is that you can actually visit that site on your computer or something like a smart TV if you just want to play a feed from your camera. All you need to do is go to www.zmodo.com. Over here on the little guy, select Zmodo web app. Once you log in, that will take you to your devices. Now, this is my first device. This is called Test. Over here, when you float over with the mouse, you get a little information. Now, over here is where you move through the app. You can see if I hit play, it will take me to a live view of my camera. Now, there's not much going on right now, but you can see that I can change the timeline view from 24 hours down to 1 hour and 5 minutes. That gives me lots of granularity to move around in the timeline here. Also, if you want to go back to live, you just hit go live here and look at that action. Don't blink, you might miss something. There are some setting features up here. We can look at that. The settings aren't as comprehensive as the settings are on your smartphone, so when you set up your camera, I'd suggest you do it on your smartphone. You do have more features there. Now let's go back to my devices or home. Back over here, here's your alerts. You can see that if you float over the alert, you can either go to it and it will show you a little thumbnail, or you can, let me float back over it. Come on. You can view it right here and it will take you back to the timeline. Let's go back to that and back to alerts, or you can just delete the alert here. So in a nutshell, this is what the web Zmodo cloud app looks like. All right, guys, it is time for the summary. So I was able to pick up the Zmodo 1080p camera from Amazon for $60. That was sold as a bundle that included 6 months of cloud storage for 7 days. Okay, what that means is it will keep 7 days for a whole 6-month period. Now, if you want to buy the cloud storage for the Zmodo, it's $50 for a year for one camera. Subsequent cameras are $25. Now compare that with the Nest that is $100 for your first camera and $50 for subsequent cameras. So this is about half the cost of the Nest solution. Now you do sacrifice a little bit with the Zmodo camera. The night vision's not as good. Check out this night footage I recorded. It sort of makes me look like a ghost playing soccer. And you can't really make out a lot of features on me. However, like something like the Nest does a really nice job at night. In fact, in some cases, I felt like with the Nest, I couldn't even tell that it was nighttime. So you do sacrifice a bit. Big picture really depends on what level of security you need. I'm going to install this camera. I'll probably forget about it. If there's an incident, I can work through it and find the piece on the timeline that I'm looking for. If you live in a high crime area, you have some real safety concerns, I probably wouldn't recommend the Zmodo for you. But if you're in a nice residential area that doesn't have a lot of problems and you don't want to pay a lot for that security camera system, this is a good option. Anyway, make sure you check out my other videos that I made for other security cameras down below. There's links. Support my channel. I'm now selling a official Kite Army t-shirt. Make sure you check that out. Subscribe to my channel, like this video, do lots and lots of things for me. Anyway, hopefully you found this video worthwhile, and I'll see you guys around real soon.